I need money. Buy commissions. But how? Well, I'll be telling you the 5 bases to start your own commissions. Pricing your commission is an important step. So I'll tell you my 3 main takeaways to price your commission in a fair range. Skill level. With knowing your skill level, you can determine the quality of your artwork and how much it could go for. If you are a beginner, your price range would differ from an advanced or an expert artist. But how do we know our skill level? The easiest method would be asking people. By asking others to rate your art and giving it a scale, you are able to figure out that you're still in a lower level or in a more advanced level. And you can also analyze professional works if you don't have friends. I know a lot of you don't, but this is actually more reliable since if you're asking friends or family, they might sugarcoat some stuff. But this is also a bit more tricky. You must understand a few fundamentals and know what you're lacking in order to give yourself a skill level based on your own observation. As an example, I am using an official artwork. This is not sponsored, but their composition is great. It feels dynamic. Unlike mine looks much more stiff. Currently, I would rate myself on an average scale, but I'm sure one day I'll reach to expert. Moving on to our next point, which is experience. How much time did it take to hone your skills till here? And have you ever been commissioned before? That also gains trust from customers. When you have a bigger following, you could raise up the price quite a lot. Art school isn't something affordable. So the next point is education. Having an art degree isn't something for free that you can obtain. And those years that you've spent on studying art, that causes a lot of money. If you've gone to courses or have proper education on art, you could raise the prices higher because you've already gotten the skills and the time that you were using to study it is going to be helpful now. These are the most that I would recommend and the most common type that you would find in commission, which is headshot, bust, and full body. So yutch is basically where you have a base and then you can color it or design it as the customer's wishes. Yes, it's a big time saver and very sufficient. Another useful question is, what use is your art for? Example, if you're drawing a headshot, they could use it as a profile picture. And what I suggest to not to do is to make sketches and line art. As sad as it seems, unless they are on a very tight budget, I don't think they would be using line art or sketch in particular ways, unless they want to draw over it or color over the line art. But in general, people seek out for a full art piece. I wouldn't suggest so many types at first because you might feel burnt out by the choices that you've given but you cannot fulfill. And you can always expand it later, so don't worry about it. Big disclaimer, this is all from my experience and my observation. If you're an artist that specializes on line art or a sketchy type of art, then go ahead and feel free to do so. And that brings us to specialization. Specializing in a certain field is quite helpful, especially if you want to make your art recognizable. As an example, you specialize on bright colors. Anyone who were looking for a brighter color palette for an illustration, they would be able to recognize you and find you as their commissioner. What I'm saying is to have something that you specialize on so others can look out for. Slots is basically the lineup for your commissions. So, For those who came first in line shall be done first. And how full is your lineup? Mine, I would normally set 1 to 3 commissions before I accept more. I have a lot of outdoor activity and I can't really spare my time for full-time commission. So I accepted 5 slots at the same time. And the result of that, I handed a lot of commissions late. In an important keynote, you guys should probably not overwork yourself or did something stupid like I did. So I'm pretty sure some of you have already heard of round robin. And if you don't, you should probably get back to school. I don't have any problems if you want to do the round robin method, but for me, I don't do it since I think the first customer gets served first, instead of us working at it all together. I'm not great at multitasking as well. But if you get bored easily on making one commission or one artwork, you can switch around, of course. But I still think the first customer in line should have their artwork given first. TOS or terms of service, it means rules. So, what you will draw and what you won't draw. This tells your customer what you're capable of and what you're not capable of. Side note, not capable doesn't always mean that you can't do it. It can also mean that you're uncomfortable on doing something. So if you're not comfortable with drawing mecha or robotic stuff, put it as something that you will not draw. Here are some common examples of something you will draw. Humanoid, furries, fan art, slight gore, ship art. And here are some examples that you won't draw. Mecha, NSFW, sensitive content, and realistic. A reminder, this is an example. Then again, this is all based on your own preferences of what you're comfortable and what you're not comfortable in drawing of. So, feel free to draw what you like. Payment should always be in your TOS, since that's where you get the money from. It's important for you and your customer to have no misunderstanding when payment comes to mind. When I first started commissions, I only accepted commissions from my friend, and they would normally pay me in the amount of food or gifts. Remind you, that was my 15-year-old self. Having a payment method is actually really needed. I suggest you have more than one payment method since its access is probably prone for a lot more people. Another payment method that's really cool is Robux. Since you can pay on Roblox and then cash it out later with money, in my opinion, it's pretty cool and it's definitely worth a try out. I say customers get no refunds at all. As harsh as it seems, they are the one who's responsible of paying you for your work. And you've already worked on it, then they ask for a refund. That's a big red flag. This is how artists are prone to get scammed the most. Art is a luxury. It's not something that's needed but wanted. And this is also another important point why artists shouldn't undersell themselves. Communication is important for you and your customer, since you don't want any miscommunication and anything that would just be a fatal mistake in your end art piece. Also, another important part is if you're not using a commission app like Artistry or Fiverr, you should really start by asking questions if someone approaches you, since you don't know if they are a scammer or actually a customer. So be decisive and choose your customers carefully. Revising something takes time, and time is money. So be clear on your boundaries. I only allow 3 revisions max for my customers. And when you are revising, be clear and specific with your customers so you don't have to revise it again and again later on in the future. Well, you guys can now start your own commission, and I wish you the best of luck. I am grateful for you who have stayed, and thank you for watching.